So first things first, let's get the elephant out of the room. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Listen, when we bring our videos to you and when we bring our Rideshare Garage every Wednesday night podcast to you, please understand, we're not trying to convince you of anything. We understand that not everybody's going to agree on the same way of doing things. I don't understand why in people's comments, not just mine, because you know I'll tell you to go off somewhere, but why people got to be such trolls about shit. Why the hatred? Why the vitriol? Why act like you're God's greatest gift to ride sharing? If you were that good at what you do, you wouldn't be watching anybody else's video. You'd be making your own. Now, I know this sounds harsh, y'all. I know it sounds harsh, but we got to be able to agree to disagree, and we need to keep it respectful. You can always say what you want. Just be respectful about it. One day, somebody's going to learn that lesson. I don't know. Ain't going to be me, though. Anyway, let's get on with the day. Okay, let's get the news out of the way. Did you guys see the latest message from Uber, the email or in your inbox? It said, help us combat distracted driving. Are they serious right now? The way they send up trip radar to override this and override your GPS and all the bells and whistles while you're riding? And they're really going to send out a message about distracted driving? Huh? Listen. I get it, right? Here in the state of Florida, it is a law now. You are not allowed to drive and hold your cell phone. If your mobile phone is in your hand, that gives Officer Friendly a legit reason to pull you over. It is dangerous. And you know what? I ain't even mad at you because them people that drive with their phone like this and all up on, where's the beef people? We don't need that. But luckily, I'm going to show you something that was sent to me from a group called Vixseed. Now, Vixseed makes a really nice phone mount, right? And if you're in a Tesla, Model 3, Model Y, I'm just saying, here's a really nice phone mount that folds away and comes back up. Meanwhile, we get a Premiere. Let's take it and go. I'm going to go take this Premiere, and I'm going to come back and finish the news. So a day later, and I didn't get back to you last night because I took that Premiere ride. It was a real shorty, nice guy, went to sushi joint, and then immediately got hit with another ride that took me 35 miles north. A black ride, then got another ride that took me another 20 miles north on top of that, another black ride. Listen, before I know it, bang, 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 that was another $110 right there. Then it kind of got a little slow, worked my way back from Jupiter into Boca, and then caught a ride from Boca to Fort Lauderdale, and that kind of ended my night. Another $50 black ride. Lyft was my friend for the first time in a long time last night. Anyway, listen. The other part to this news, you know, a lot of us are driving EVs now, right? We went and got our Teslas and our Polestars and our Ion IQ, whatever that Hyundai number thing is. And y'all saw what Uber did, right? There's no more per ride Uber incentive. Now it's all about how many rides you do in a month. And what's bothering me about that the most is, first of all, I ain't doing no 200 rides in a month for Uber. It's not going to happen. It's not that I don't want to do it. They ain't worth doing. I would have to drop down to X and X shared to try to knock that out. And you know what? It ain't worth it. So I doubt if I hit it. But I will say this. If you drive Premiere and you drive the other platforms, the EV credit or the ride count for the EV credit does count. Because I did 3 rides for Uber yesterday. And all 3 rides counted 2 Comfort and a Premiere. So that is a good thing, but I think this is more geared towards, you know, those that are still renting the cars through Uber and Hertz, because now in certain markets, it used to be 30 rides, plus you're paying them a shit ton of money to rent the darn car. Now it's 50 rides, and you're paying them a shit ton of money to rent the car. I don't know. Drive Whip, I'll deal with Drive Whip. It's just easier. No hidden fees. Anyway, so I had to take Bumblebee in to get a front end alignment. I put some tires on it earlier in the week. I didn't have time for the alignment then, so I went and did it today. And it's the first time in a while this week that I actually drove her, because I've been driving this Tesla, not just for me, but for you guys too, to give you the honest opinion. Let me tell you something. Talk about feeling every single vibration from an ICE engine. Man, Steven and I were tripping this morning on this. It's not that my car, my Cadillac, runs bad. She's fine wine, man. Smooth as silk. Floating on air when she drives, but you feel everything. The difference between electric motors and gasoline engines, completely different. The vibrations there. You hear the engine. It's not that it's overbearing, but it's kind of like when you're on that airplane and you're flying on that airplane and you hear the engines whining. That's how the goddamn Cadillac sounded. And ain't nothing wrong with her. Man, I tell you, the other thing that tripped me out, I was using the brake again. Like when you're in an EV, if you didn't know, you drive a Tesla, you mainly drive 90% of the time with the accelerator. That's your go and no go. Sometimes you got to hit the brake because you get a banana head in front of you. But most times you don't use the brake. All of a sudden, I take my foot off the accelerator in the Cadillac, and I'm like, oh shit, it's still going. I gotta stop. Gotta move my foot over, hit the brake. Man, you talk about a trip. The throw on the blinkers, right? This, and you just tap it up, and it's there. Man, it felt like I had to lift the damn blinker all the way up to the other side of the truck. Man, just a trip. Anyway, looks like I'm gonna take tonight off, and I'm gonna be back at it tomorrow, so I will come back and give y'all the update then. All right, it's Saturday. I ain't gonna lie. Sucks I gotta work today, but I'm thankful that I can work, right? It is 4 p.m. We got the apps on. I've got a Premier scheduled ride. I think it's 6:20 going from Fort Lauderdale into Boca, which is good because that means, unlike Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, I won't have to deadhead to Boca. That's right. Last week, 44 hours, less than $900 I made. Cherry picking, all that good stuff, but there was no money to be made in my normal areas. So what do? This week, I'm like, Uber, Lyft, you're not gonna get me this week. I ain't gonna play me for no fucking fool. And we moved our ass. 190 on Monday, 180 on Tuesday, 210 on Wednesday, or Thursday rather, because Wednesday I don't work. And there we go. Took last night off. I'm probably gonna pay for that a little bit, but we're gonna find out. Look at his banana head. Y'all can't see him, but I see him. In a Toyota. He's in a Toyota. We're gonna make this money today, I hope. The only real event we got going on today down here, we got a Panther game at Panther Arena. That's a 5 o'clock start. So that one's gonna be over at like 8:30. And man, talking with Ramon, he's been going to the Panther games. He says there's so many drivers there. So many drivers waiting on rides. So many SUVs waiting on rides. Bro, that's not a good sign. That ain't a good sign for people, but they'll figure it out. Anyway, key to today, move your ass. If you ain't getting no rides within 20, 30 minutes of where you're at, move your ass. If the area is hot and you're getting rides and you're happy with those rides, stay your ass right there or keep going back there. Always go to the hot spot till it ain't hot no more. So the first request I got today was a $32 black ride. It was going about 14 miles. It's about a 30-minute ride, right? So it met my numbers. I was like, yeah. I accepted it. They canceled. And that brings me to a point that Tesla drivers, as well as sedan drivers, whether you're in a Cadillac CTS or a Lincoln MKZ or what have you, a Lexus 350. Listen, it's gotten so slow in some market that Suburbans and Escalades, even though they won't admit it, they're dropping down and taking regular Premier and Black ride, and they're dropping down further and taking Comfort ride. I done told y'all, I done seen it. Man, I wish I got it on video. So here's the problem though. You have people now, I have been told multiple times, they're ordering Premier, ordering Black, they're ordering Comfort, and in the past, they have gotten Suburban and Escalades to show up and take their ride. Now, there is nothing wrong with those to do that, meaning those vehicles drop as big SUVs dropping down. We always say, get a vehicle that you can do multiple platforms with. That's how you're successful in this business. Not by being able to stay to one platform, but to have 2, 3, or 4 of them. Well, what's happening now is people caught on. Riders have caught on. And they're getting these SUVs and these Escalades at Comfort prices, at Black prices, at Premier prices. You know what's sad about that? We get the short end of that stick because they are going to cancel on us right away every time. And you know who wins at the end of the day? You know who wins? Uber and Lyft. They win because these drivers, they got to make their bills too. They're entitled to earn their money and make their bills. But now they got to drop down. So now Uber and Lyft get to say, well, look, we're offering you Suburban at the cheapest rates possible. Use us in the future. And the rest of us, squad hoot. Anyway, I got about 15 minutes before I got to go pick up this ride. We will see y'all in a little bit. Well, last night wasn't shit. It really wasn't. I did about 180 on the apps. I was out for a few hours, but I will say this. By moving my ass and going deadheading where I need to deadhead, even though yesterday I didn't have to deadhead, but moving my ass into a different area, I've made in 4 days what I made in 6 days last week. You see, being stubborn, or keep you fucking broke. So don't be afraid to move and try other areas. As you can tell right now, we're charging. Hold on, let me get my hand right. Y'all Tesla drivers, y'all know what that means. That means we're charging right now. I am way up in Del Rey. I came out about an hour and a half ago. It's slow. Like, I've gotten 2 requests. I took them both. Beggars can't be choosers at this point. They're not great, not bad, somewhere in between. But at least both riders tipped out. So that helps, right? The tips help. I don't know how the rest of this day is going to play out. We're going to find out. And then I'll come back later tonight, give my final totals. And that'll be that for this particular video. But y'all definitely gonna want to watch the next video, because the next video is gonna be about, well, y'all just have to wait and find out. So Sunday turned out to be a decent day. I caught a nice $73 reserve ride, and from Boca to Miami International, and then they rematched me with a $37 ride back up into Hollywood. It was perfect. And then both trips tipped out $20 and $11 respectively. So I mean, you do the math. You know, we went from $66 at that point to $207, $208 for the night. It was perfect, beautiful thing. I was in my bed and comfy before I knew it. So I wound up doing $1,000 for the week in about 34 hours. Now you say, oh, well, you know, you got your rental costs, you got that shit don't matter to me. $1,000 in a week, I doubled my money. It cost me $500 to make $1,000. I doubled my money. The rules of money, bro. Double your money. $1,000 doubled 10 times gives you $1 million. Do the math. And don't always depend on this stuff. Because I only worked 5 days last week, because I only put in 34 hours last week, it gave me time to keep working on this. Because see, this paid off today while I was out there doing a reserve ride this morning. Had a 10:45 pickup, had my sell orders in, bought in up here at the line. They came all the way down, sold out, made our money there. Also, I do review videos. You guys just saw, I just put up my last video was a review video. These are people sending me product that are going to help us as drivers. Whether it's a seat back covers like that, whether it's a phone mount holder, whatever it is, I'm putting them out there because they might help you. Might be something good for you. And on the flip side, hey, if you go through the product or link below, I get a little commission. Okay, so shoot me. Anyway, guys, get your pivots together. Life ain't all about Uber. Use the money, elevate you into something else. And we will see you next time. Peace out.